Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of a Dice Experience here on that there podcast. We're super excited to have you all here. It's a joy and a good time here in old Texas, and we're just mighty fun and excited to rustle up some good old podcast information for you today. We have a couple good cowboys that are here to play some Dungeons and Dragons, and, well, boys, are you excited?
Yup.
Yes, sirree.
Ah, good. I'm glad to hear that. First, we got ourselves an Alabama boy. Says, roll tide too much, but we'll still accept him as he comes along to play them Dungeons and Dragons with us. What information can you tell us about your character there, son?
Well, the first thing that I got to tell you is that my Alabama Crimson Tide are #1, and that's all that anybody needs to know. And we're not going to pay attention to the fact that we're playing Tennessee this weekend and probably going to get our butts whipped. That's for next week. But I am playing the most spectacular Jean Lafayette, a Harangon archer man who does the bow things and likes the sneaky sneaks.
And, of course, tonight we also got our resident Texan here from a good old part of Central Texas.
Howdy, y'all. It's Stolen. I'm playing some kind of turtle that uses magic. I think a warlock is what it's called. And guns up.
Guns up, suns up.
Mm-hmm. I'll tell you what.
And last but certainly not least, we're mighty fine and excited to have someone whose whole country is usually not on the map. Just had a whole conversation about that, and I'm still a little blown away. Tell us about New Zealand there, Meerkat.
Howdy, y'all. I'm from New Zealand, and it's a country under Australia, and I'm so glad to be here. So I play Lucas, who does some of that healing magics.
Mighty fine. We're excited to have you guys all here in our rodeo, rustling up some good old piratey themes and whatnot. Maybe this time we'll have our resident Texan tell us what happened last time.
Well, you see what happened last time. We had a bugbear that tried to kill our resident chef. It was not a good thing. But luckily he was saved by Jean. He was sent packing down to his rooms where he evidently found some more liquor. Well, that's going to go well. And then we just decided to make some plans for the day. Jean is going to go visit Sainte Marie, and Lucas and crew are going to go exploring the town.
Thank you. That's mighty appreciated that you done that there. And folks, I promise we're not going to be talking that way the entire podcast, but thank you guys for just bearing with us as our intros get a little more wacky and crazy.
Now you just speak for yourself there.
Well, shoot.
This is my normal voice.
All right, that's a wrap. Let's start over, guys. This is
Take 5.
So I say this episode's probably starting a couple hours after our last one. You guys had your conversation, decided what you want to do for the day. I think Crew's already reprimanded old Drake about what it means to actually be a lookout, or who's in charge of being the lookout, and I've gotten your information you need from the brothers on what to purchase. They did mention that they would like these orange metal balls from the magic shop. If you guys could procure some of those. They asked for some large pieces of metal and some wood as well. Other than that, you watched as the poor dolls struggled to move barrels, and Fredrican's kind of zipping back and forth like he has the zoomies up and down the ship. So, what are you guys gonna do?
Well, I hope that's the last time I have to tell Drake to get out of my crow's nest.
Well, now what you got to do is set some firm boundary. Oh, sorry. Bull, you do remember that you are the captain, correct?
I do.
You can tell him what to do.
I did, but that doesn't mean that he's gonna remember, apparently.
Well, you might have to ask him to swab the deck or something when he forgets. So that he will remember.
We'll use them for chum later if we need to.
What is that?
It's my bad. It's my phone. We will not be using him for chum later.
No.
If anything, we'll be using one of the dolls.
Do they have enough meat on them to be chum, though?
You know,
I mean,
when
if
I
they're-
shot
if they're-
that one, Lassie or whatever her name was, it was mostly just stuffing that came out.
Exactly. I mean, do you know of any kind of sea creature that eats stuffing?
Perhaps Lucas could wrap her in bacon or something.
Yeah,
About
but
we
they
just-
were wasting bacon.
It's not a waste if we're not being eaten by sharks. And something else is.
True. So
Well,
the,
shall we give St. Marie a visit? Are we ready?
Yeah, I say let's go.
Lucas?
Yeah. Have you all got your maze snacks?
I do,
Yes.
and I kind of pat my little hip pocket.
Okay, I'm ready.
John pulls out the chalk and draws a nice big circle on the floor of the boat. The
What
deck of the boat,
What do you-
I suppose.
you draw it around yourself? Do you just draw a circle? Where do you draw it?
Yes, I just draw a circle. Not around myself, but in front of myself.
Okay.
Just below the mast, near that area, somewhere large and open.
Okay. You've drawn your circle. It is green chalk and it's chalky. It begins to glow a little bit.
John takes a step inside the circle and puts his back to the other two so they don't see him close his eyes real tight.
You guys watch. I don't know if you guys grew up like I did in the 90s where the Power Rangers would just kind of warp to Zordon. But you watch as that suddenly happens to John. He becomes like a greenish color and he kind of turns into a green light and shoots off into the sky. You see the chalk ring pulse 3 times and then it becomes a regular chalk color.
That looks interesting, and Crew's just gonna like head dive into the circle.
Okay, you take 3 points of bludgeoning damage as your face slams into the wood.
Ow!
Oh,
Ah! Do I have any splinters? Can you check real quick?
I'll look him over. Nope. I think you're good. You got a little swelling there.
Yeah. I guess we'll have to put some ice on that when we get back to the ship.
Guess I'll step in this circle while I'm looking at you.
Why didn't...
Nothing happens.
Why isn't it...
Lucas
Why isn't it working?
stands there.
Oh no.
Did we lose Jean?
I like stamp my feet and clap to see if that sets off the magic.
Nope, it nothing happens. You notice even like you've kicked chalk before and it kind of like smears and stuff. This feels like it's suddenly become like painted into your boat. So even when you're trying to like kick it and then kind of unscratch it or whatever, the chalk line still stays. It does not fade.
Did John tell you what this chalk was for or where we were going?
He said it was from Saint Marie, but that's all he said to me.
I guess we don't know where exactly he is. I guess we need to go ask St. Marie some questions.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess we're going to have to go the old-fashioned way.
I think we should sharpen our blades so we can intimidate her if we need to. Get some answers.
It probably wouldn't hurt. Alright, let's make haste to this, just in case something's bad's happening to Jean.
Oh, I'm really good at
Yes,
haste right
let's
now. I can run really
make
fast.
haste.
Look, runs past you.
Oh, no.
Fredrican,
Yeah.
get the dinghy ready. We're coming.
Okay. He starts lowering it, and you hear it kind of into the water, and you kind of hear both of the brothers go, "Hey, no, ¿qué estás haciendo? What are you doing?"
Are they in the boat?
No, they're not. They just got splashed. They were working on the side of the boat where the dinghy was at, and the boat.
What did they say?
What are you doing? They said.
We're heading into town.
Creo que ese es la tortuga que estaba hablando. Sí, parece que es la tortuga. Turtle Captain. He make wet.
Ready? Did you pee yourself?
You heard them in their language kind of saying, "What? I think that's a turtle talking." Yeah, I think so too. And then they said what they said in English, so or common. No, I didn't pee myself. I might have splashed him with the boat. But I'm excited. You ready to go? I'll throw the ladder over.
Look at crew. I guess we better get going and he can try and wear himself out on land.
Yeah, maybe running in the sand will take some energy out of him.
Yeah. we'll have him paddle.
Yeah.
Y'all get into the boat and get settled in. Fredrican's paddling skills are not great, but he slowly gets you guys towards the beach. John. Hey, buddy. You find yourself in a kind of a grassy area. You're not on the boat anymore, but you're standing in a large forest of redwoods. Grass is green and gorgeous in between the trees. You hear birds singing. The sky is beautiful. The temperature is a little cooler than where you were at, but not awful. Kind of a nice early spring, late fall kind of feel to it. Kind of wish you had your hoodie with you, but do Herringons really wear hoodies? I don't know.
No, our fur keeps us nice and warm. Unless we're up in the Arctic. I'm not an Arctic Herringon. I'm just a, regular.
Regular. Okay.
What's a regular rabbit called?
Rabbit.
Yeah. I don't know. There's what's a Texas rabbit? Because you got desert hares and Arctic hares and yeah. I'm just a regular old cottontail rabbit.
Can't tell you're not a jackrabbit.
Yeah, we can deal with some like sub-zero temperatures and things like that, but like, let's not be there for long.
Okay. It's kind of cool. The breeze is kind of blowing through, and there's a redwood in front of you, and redwoods on your right and your left. The one in front of you, roots and all, kind of just creaks and turns. And when it faces you, with its large, massive bodies, and if you haven't seen a redwood before, these trees, they're like... It's bigger than the one that you guys crawled into to meet Fredrican for the first time. This tree is massive. And with its entire body turning, its trunk is thick. I mean, it's can be up to large amounts of feet. You feel like you could put several of you inside this tree. But it turns and faces you, and it definitely has a face. And its tree parts kind of move a little bit, and it kind of shakes its head back and forth. And it sees you, and it kind of moans. And then it kind of creaks and turns back the way it had faced before, and you hear trees around it begin to creak and moan as well.
Jean closes his eyes real tight again and says, "There's no place like home. There's no place like home. There's no place like home." And then opens his eyes.
And he's still in the moaning forest right now.
Saint Marie?
When you say that, the trees quiet down. And you hear more of like a whisper going through branches. Oh. Eventually.
Nope. John pulls out the chalk and draws a circle on the ground.
So the chalk, when you originally wrote with it, glowed. It is not glowing at this point in time. It's kind of like a whoom, 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 kind of pulsating a little bit. You begin to do that, trying to draw on the forest floor there. And Saint Marie comes around the corner. Oh, darling, that ain't gonna work like that.
Please get me out of here.
You look at her. She's not dressed like she normally is.
But she is still dressed.
She is dressed, yes.
Okay.
Yes. She's got overalls on, with a kind of a red plaid shirt. Her red monkey hair is still visible, but she definitely has it kind of up in a bun with a yellow bandana over her head. You ain't never...
Where are we?
Have you ever been to my home world of Monkfray?
I have not, no.
She gestures with her right hand. Welcome to Monkfray. Glad you can make it. Come, we got some work we need to do. She hands you a hoe and starts walking down into the forest.
Really?
You're here for at least 3 hours. You might as well do a little work with me as I work on some rum cakes.
I feel okay. And John will follow her. You said there was something you needed to talk to me about?
Yes, there's lots of different things we need to discuss, but... How long have you had him? She points, and Nameless is standing right there.
Well, he just hatched, maybe a couple of weeks ago at this point.
Oh. What's your name, little one? Have a name. Master, have you picked a name for me? I don't think I have a name yet. I don't think she can hear me, and why am I here? I was just playing with Sally a second ago, and she wasn't very happy because I was helping her move barrels and stuff. But what's happening?
I really don't know what's happening either, to be honest with you. She's a friend, and we're okay, but this is a very strange forest. I'm not sure I'm okay with this. And I really like Nameless. Do you not like Nameless?
Is that your final decision?
I mean, I think it's a pretty good name. Like, what if you're a king one day and you're the Nameless King? I mean, that's like a pretty cool title, isn't it?
Well, you call him Nameless.
Is
Nice.
she in my head?
No, she's saying this out. Oh, I mean, I imagined you were talking to him out loud. Were you not?
No.
Oh. She's not in your head. Nope. She just kind of smiles
Okay.
and continues to look at Nameless. Nameless kind of looks like a scared puppy, and
Yeah.
I didn't think I didn't think about being a king. That would be really cool. I think being a king would be really fun. He kind of pees excitedly like your puppy dog does sometimes when they get excited.
Of course you're going to be a king one day. I'm going to marry the princess, and I'll be the king, and so you'll be the king's Drake.
His tail wags. He's a feisty one. Reminds me of your father's. And she keeps walking down the forest. You guys get to the beach. Fredrican's excited. He takes forever to row you guys there, but you've made it. What are you guys gonna do when you guys get there? He's kind of planted the boat and he's just started off running back and forth, checking out one thing after another. He comes back, he'll bring you guys like a snail that he found, and then a conch shell, and then cool stick.
Thanks for all the gifts, Fredrican.
You're welcome.
We're good for now. You can stop.
Oh, but what are we gonna do? Why are we here?
We're going to find Jean.
Oh,
He's missing? Question mark?
I mean, he's not very nice. I think I'm okay with that. Puts his hand over his mouth.
Pretty, that's not very nice. And I kneel down on the ground and put my hand on his shoulder. Jean is our friend, and we need to find him. I think it's best that you stay on the beach and you can have a good day to do whatever you do on the beach. And we need to go find Jean.
You don't want me to help?
You'll help more by having fun on the beach.
Oh, okay. I'll do that.
If you're hungry, there's a whole bunch of bananas in the tree line over there.
I love bananas. He takes off running.
Oh crap, Lucas!
Oh.
I forgot to transform before we got off the ship. I'm gonna look around. Is there a lot of people around? Or are we fairly secluded?
There's tents on the beach. I don't think anybody's out as of yet. I think there's a lot of people kind of still sleeping, napping a little bit that are there. So probably okay.
Okay, I'm going to just like kind of find a tree that I can hide behind and transform into my human Captain Bull version.
Awesome. Fantastic job. You have turned into Captain Bull.
I scratch my head. Bull, are you hiding from somebody?
No, but this is what I looked like last time we were here. And I just want to make sure that when we stop by the shop later, he recognizes me as who I am.
Okay.
How long does this guy self last? Say probably about an hour, right?
Yeah, but I can do it at will, so I can just redo it every
Gotcha.
time it fades.
Okay.
I think we should try and talk to Saint Marie first, and then pick up your item later.
Yeah, I went. Did you go with Jean when we went? I know I did. So we can.
No, I stood outside while Jean went in and talked to her, so I haven't met her, but hopefully she'll trust us enough to talk about him.
Yeah, I didn't meet her either. I kind of stood at the back of the shop, but I at least know what she looks like. So let's head that way.
Yeah.
And try and avoid as little interaction with anybody else as we can.
Sounds good. Yeah, let's go.
Keeps guiding you down the path. And eventually you reach a hut. There's a couple of smaller trees that seem to be working in the garden outside of this hut. Relatively large. What all do you need to make rum cakes? The cake portion of rum.
Are you asking the electrician / historian what is needed to produce a baked good?
I'm asking all three of the players that might have a better answer than me going, there's potatoes in the ground, and you guys are digging up potatoes for rum cakes.
There's like flour and eggs and sugar and rum, and I'm sure there's probably other things.
Cool, so you need like wheat to make the flour, yeah?
Like maybe butter? Milk, I would assume?
Okay. So there's a grain of some sort, maybe, outside the house that you guys are working on.
Sure.
She starts digging with another hoe, and these trees kind of just, they wave at her. She walks up, and they continue to help move and dig some things around. One seems to be churning butter. One seems to be collecting eggs from a chicken, and everybody kind of seems to be doing their part. How you been feeling recently, John? Where you been?
Well, I've been sailing with Captain Nadar, and
No, you're doing that wrong. You gotta put your back into that action right there.
okay. And John will continue to do it poorly.
Like you mean it.
It's more intentional than just incompetence. There's certainly a lot of incompetence, but it's mostly intentional.
She kind of gives you one of those looks, and she grabs you from behind. Keep telling me more. She's trying to help you, kind of guide you like a son would guide somebody swinging a baseball bat. Their kid guy swinging a baseball bat.
This is uncomfortable. Well, Marie, I really think I've got the hang of this now.
Oh.
John puts a slight bit more effort and tries to, squirm his way politely out of her grasp.
Oh, yes, that's very good. Yes, very nice.
Thank you.
You're sailing with Nadar now. That's good. Your pa always wanted you to be protected by him.
Yes, he... I can't say that he's been a good man, but he has certainly, I can say, protected me.
You feel like you really knew him? Know him? Knew him? Know him? Know him? Yeah, know him.
I mean, no, not really. I knew he had some sort of connection with my father, but even here recently, there have been things going on with Nadar and some of his past compatriots, and I don't know. It's an entire mess that, to be honest, I have no desire to have any part in, but the rest of the crew seem intent upon carrying out Nadar's desires, so I will go along with it.
Do you know why Nadar does what he does?
I'm not entirely certain that Nadar knows why he does what he does.
She points at Nameless. Why do you have him?
There was an egg that and John will glance back at Nameless and decide to choose his words more carefully and not say stole. That I was chosen to receive, and after a few days there was a connection made even while Nameless was still in the egg, and a few hours later it hatched, and here we are.
You know, drakes just don't hatch for anyone.
Well, I guess I'm lucky then. He's been a good companion.
Good. That's real good. Points up. Look at that. See, glancing up, a ship kind of floats on by above you. Seems to kind of sail through the sky. Flown one of those?
No. What is that?
Well, that's a spelljammer. They tend to travel the astral sea.
I see. I can't say that I have much education in things beyond the material planes.
Did your pa ever tell you how I met him?
No, I figured through y'all's business.
How much do you know about the business?
My parents were traders of some sort, some exotic goods. When Saleh took over the family business and I was working for her, I mean, we sold all sorts of spices and fine linens before we got into the illegitimate piracy trade.
You know, that helped maybe supplement a little bit about what your pa did, but your pa was in much bigger business than that. We met a while back. As you can see, my home world's a little bit different from where you come from.
Just a touch.
You know, your father used to travel the astral sea?
No, I'm still not quite certain what the Astral Sea is.
That'll be a little harder to explain, I think. I think it's good just to let you know that there's more than just one planet. One plane of existence, if you will. The astral sea is a... You ever look up from the beach and see all them stars?
Yes, you have to use them to navigate, certainly.
What if I told you that there were ships that traveled through them stars?
Well, I suppose with the magics of this world, anything could be possible. I've never heard of such a thing, though.
imagine your pa didn't talk about it much. Your planet hasn't really reached that point yet of the astral traveling, but somehow your pa got on one of them ships. You ever meet his Drake?
No, I wasn't aware he had any such thing.
As you guys begin to wander into town, you guys see the regular things you saw the day before. The trees are they're everywhere, and you got the bananas growing. People are kind of singing and drinking and kind of doing what pirates do on their island. There's the Western style buildings as you guys begin approaching the actual town of Linguina. But you notice something that you're not quite sure was there the day before, but possibly could have been, because it looks like they've been pitched up for a while. But there's some purple tents. And they're large, like circus-sized tents with tentacles not growing on the side of them, but kind of painted on the side of them. Kind of like, as if you're looking underneath an octopus. And standing outside of these purple tents, there's about 3 or 4 of them pitched around now. There's some people in purple cloaks, and a couple of them are standing on soapboxes, and they're yelling out different things. They seem to be talking and gathering crowds around them.
Lucas, do you remember those tents yesterday?
I don't.
It just seems weird that they popped up overnight like that, especially to be so many of them and so big of them.
And sorry, where are the tents?
When you're thinking of the town, it's kind of like a horseshoe type look. Think of kind of old West town where you kind of have that long stretch of road, but instead of it, being a road that you go one end and then you can be in the other end of town, then leave town, it's kind of like a horseshoe shape instead. These tents are kind of pitched in the center of town, close to the well. There's like 4 of them pitched. There's really one big one that's kind of like a circus size, and then there's a couple of smaller ones that are pitched close to it. You can kind of vaguely remember them being there, but John seemed to pay them no mind, and there's so many people walking around and so many other new things going on that you've just kind of ignored them.
Do I hear what they're yelling out or talking about?
Yeah. Would you like to get a little bit closer?
Not like so close that they can grab me, but close enough that I can understand what they're saying.
Oh yeah, I mean, like, there's a crowd of people around them. You kind of hear them beginning to talk and say, "The Breaker of the World promises that he'll protect those who follow him. The Breakers of the Sea will come in and he will rip it to shreds, and there'll be no more piracy, no more Navy trying to steal you away. No. The Breaker plans to return and rule the seas once again. His master Tiamat has no other call for him but this, to take the seas for himself. And you must be willing to follow him, or you too will be sunk to the very depths of the oceans." And it seems to kind of continue on with those types of phrases.
The Breaker's god was Tiamat.
Breaker of the Sea, his master Tiamat commands him to do these things.
That just seems weird to me.
It just sounds like religious fanatics.
Yeah. I don't really necessarily want to get involved in that. Come on, let's keep going to St. Marie's.
Yeah, we need to find John. We'll head on over to St. Marie's.
Sounds perfect.
Hello, yes. Come in. And you are... Oh, yes, that's right. That's right. You're here for that little middle bit. Well, come sit down. Close the door on your way in. We don't want it to get a little drafty in here. I have my notes somewhere around here. Let me see what I can find. Oh, yes. Here we are. First point. Thank everyone. Okay. So, yes, here at Dicey Experience, we would like to thank each and every one of you for following us along on this experience. We would appreciate if you follow and like us on whichever podcasting app you're listening to this on. And also, if you're on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button. That really, really helps us in the algorithm. And also, the best way for us to grow is for you to share. So if you're enjoying, share this with your friends and family. If you share this with 4 people, and then they share this with 4 other people, who knows? By the end of it all, we could have world domination, and everybody likes that. All right. The second point, our social media. Oh, yes. So, follow us on our social medias. That's where we post news and even some questions and answers, and even a couple polls. So you could be involved in the Dicey Experience just by doing that. We are on Twitter at A Dicey Experience. And we are also on Instagram at A Dicey Experience. So make sure you follow and share and retweet and whatever those young people are doing today on those things. Make sure you're doing that. Okay. Well, there's one last point. Jason's Twitch. Why does he want me to promote this? I mean, he does put out some great content, but I mean, yeah, he does stream on Twitch. It's twitch.tv/JasonSketch. That's twitch.tv/JACEN Sketch. I have seen him doing this one game. I think it was called Heart Gold, Soul Silver. They're doing a Nuzlocke on there. I think that's what they call it these days. And if you come follow, just remember, we don't talk about Manny. No, we don't. We don't talk about Manny. So that comes to the conclusion of our little middle bit. So skimper along, get back to the story. You don't want to miss anything. I think there's something important coming up. So yes, just make sure you close that door on your way out. We're not heating the entire universe around here.
Your father's Drake was mighty nice, Joan. I can't say that I was able to spend a lot of time with him, but he did stand with your father to the very end.
Well, I'm glad he let someone into his life.
Touches your face. You know he loved you, right?
No, I can't say that I do know that, St. Marie.
There was a yellow canary that was singing close by, and when you say that, it stops and becomes completely silent. The rest of the workers are still doing their thing, things are still moving, but it's noticeable to you that this yellow canary stops singing.
He would have had to have been present in my life, perhaps maybe shared what was going on in his, in order to truly prove that he cared about me. I got thrust into this family business, and I've done quite well for myself, and I think I've proved that even though I was a child, I could have certainly been entrusted with whatever he was working on.
She kind of looks a little downcast. There's more to this family business of yours than you realize. know how the world was created, how the material plane was created?
Of course not. Why would I care about such things?
I think you should care about this story.
St. Marie, you're beginning to remind me of an old turtle I once knew.
That was a good man, too. Shame what they did to him. Creation of the world. Bahamut.
John sinks his head down as she begins. Focuses on harvesting whatever this wheat is.
There's an ant comes up and smiles and holds a basket out while you continue to work. Looks like you gave him the day off. Bahamut. And the canary starts to sing again. He's a big old yellow dragon. And he had two other friends, one called Tiamat and another that was his son. And he began to create a world, starting with the tree of life. You know what that tree is called, right? You've heard it before.
Assume for sake of argument that a man who has spent the majority of his life at sea does not know the names of the trees.
Yarendil. This tree began to create and connect all sorts of material planes to each other. Some say there might be even be way stations in between them that allow them to connect to other places. He began with the roots and carved the trunk of this tree all the way up and even began to move into the branches. Some say he still even continues to make more places in the material plane as new worlds get created. On your world, though, Tiamat began to rule. And her 3 titans, well, they caused a lot of destructions. Terrorizing, bringing about the breaker of the land, the destroyer of the sea, the torment of the air. And Tiamat wanting to be the king of them all. Bahamut, realizing that this was not right, came back to help defend his creation, only to find that the Drake Wardens had already helped take care of that for him. They worked together to lock away the 4 titans, sealed them up, from what I can understand, or kept them at bay. Some say there might even be some statues that can be gathered and trinkets. If you were to bring those titans back, would need to bring all those pieces of that statue together, but the Drake Wardens did a great job of separating those. But in the process, cost us the life of his son. Bahamut's son also was trapped to make this magic work. And his son can only be brought back by bringing back the artifacts of his being together. That's what the Drake Wardens do. That's what your pa did.
Sounds like a fairy tale to me.
I can see why you'd think that. Points at your sword. The new one you got from Nadar. You know whose sword that is, don't you?
There's some magic sword Nadar had. Used to be a long sword, now it's a rapier. Fairly handy little thing.
She puts a little dust on it. Grip that handle. Grip it real close.
John reluctantly tightens his grip around the handle.
You get a quick flash, for as long as you're holding it, and you see it clear as we described it in the last episode, with that flash of lightning and holding your paw, holding it in his hands, with blood stained all over it from the men that he was keeping at bay from attacking you and your mother. When you let go, you flash back, standing in Marie's garden. Crew, Lucas, you guys get to town. There's a lot of these robed, cloaked, purple cloaked men that are making these announcements, and maybe some of the pirates are listening. Some of them probably paying them no mind. You are able to navigate. No one's trying to stop you guys as you're walking through town. And you get to St. Marie's store, her little tienda there, and it is closed. Door's locked, and it says closed outside.
Are there any windows that we can see into? Is the door locked?
The door is locked. The windows have... the shutters for them have been shut. So you can't really see in.
I go up to the door and stop pounding on it.
Okay.
Is anybody in there?
I'm gonna go check the back.
Okay.
And I'm gonna run around to the back. Do I see anything back there, like any kind of disturbance, or do I hear anything coming from inside the building?
Make a perception check.
Perception. 15.
Okay. You can kind of hear a kind of a muffled male voice from the inside, and it kind of has that country twang to it too. I'm gonna cover my mouth and kind of see if I can make that effect. If you clearly, yeah, let's just see how it goes. Don't those dang pirates know? They ought to know that. Why is he still banging? St. Marie closes on Fridays. All pirates know this. Why is he still banging on that door? I gotta go check and see what's going on. There's no back door. There's no windows in the back of the building. No AC unit or anything like that.
I'll run back to the front. Hey, Lucas, there's somebody in there, but it sounds just like a worker. Not like it didn't sound like John.
Maybe he knows where we can find St. Marie, and I stop banging again.
The door swings open, and a large, tall Hadozi stands there. He's kind of got a little bit of a beard going for him. He's got more of a black skin. Looks more chimpanzee-like than... Oh, no. I lied. He looks more gorilla-like than St. Marie did. Don't you know? It's Friday. We're always closed on Fridays.
Sorry, we're looking for our friend, and we think he is here. He was supposed to come talk to St. Marie.
St. Marie ain't in today. She's going out.
Do you know where?
I don't plan to venture into St. Marie's business too much.
But you know where she is? Or where we can find her?
I don't know where she goes on her days off. Might check her home over there, yonder. Got a little hut. But, between you and me, Not often that I hear noise coming from that hut.
So she could be somewhere else.
I don't know. I've got to finish shutting down shop so I can go home with my wife and kids.
Can I tell if he's telling the truth?
Sure. Roll a check for me. A truth check.
25.
Yeah, he seems like he's just really annoyed that you guys are there. He has no idea what St. Marie does on her days off, and it's not his business. Just knows that. Good?
You're not good.
I just was going to give a piece of information that actually you probably wouldn't even know, so.
Thanks. So, I think we should probably go at least check out our house. You know, maybe the chalk took him there instead.
The doors slam shut.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah.
Crude takes off, like briskly walking towards her house.
Before the flash ends, John, get that same image again of your paw grabbing your face, with the axe in his back and his body kind of half deteriorating. He says the same thing he did before: find Saint Marie. And you flash back into reality.
John just goes back to harvesting the wheat.
Seems to be the problem there, John.
Problem with what?
I think you know as well as just as I do whose sword you're holding.
And whose sword was it before that?
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
So I have my father's sword.
Yes.
I've got his fur, and I've been told I've got something of his nose as well.
That you do. Haven't quite grown in that mustache yet, though.
Marie, I appreciate your friendship, and I'm doing my absolute best to avoid any antagonistic or rude comments, but why am I here? What is the purpose of calling me to this place?
It's a little bit of twofold. One, I do have a gift for you. Two, I have a little responsibility to begin to teach you your duties as a Drake Warden. If you've already...
As a what?
Come here. Let me show you something. She smiles and she begins to point towards a rock area that kind of surrounded by vines a little bit. The trees kind of a vined area that kind of hang down around this rock. Why don't you walk over here with me for a moment?
Are you going to explain as I'm going with her, John will say, are you going to explain what a Drake Warden is over here?
Yes, of sorts I will. As we're going, just keep in mind your duty. A Drake Warden is someone that helps to protect the realm from the Titans returning. Hopefully, bring Bahamut's son back. But, I'm not a Drake Warden myself. I just, an old friend that helps them along the way. My old druid skills, they're... Well, maybe this will help you learn a little bit more about who you are. Why don't you have a seat in this circle right here? As you look at the rock, there's some markings in there that kind of shape of a circle.
John scratches his head and says, perhaps I hit my head in the fight last night. You'll have to forgive me, Saint Marie. I don't believe I signed up for being a Drake Warden. I am a pirate. I'm operating under Nadar. I'm paying off my debt, and then I'm going back home to marry my princess. Nowhere along the lines have I joined any sort of group, much less any group my father was a part of. I simply don't understand what's going on here.
Sometimes, blessings and birthrights are bestowed upon us long before we even make choices of our own. I'd encourage you to take at least a moment to explore what that might look like. And you can make the decision for yourself what you're going to do. Many Drake Wardens take the blessings that are given to them. There's only 6. 6 Drake Wardens in existence at a time. We hope they'll perform their duties, but not all do. Your pa was one of the good ones, and I'm sorry he didn't spend much time with you. I wish I could fix that. I wish I could change that. I wish he would have spent more time telling you about this. But I think if you just take a moment and sit, you might learn a little bit more than you realized. Then I got a small gift for you before you go home. Points at the seat again.
Yeah, John respects Saint Marie and doesn't want to upset her. I mean, he has no clue what is going on, but he'll be happy to take a seat if it means he gets out of this strange forest sooner.
It's not hard to find St. Marie's house. It's kind of evident. It seems to be the only pristine one within the rest of the different huts. Look in the window and it's definitely organized and neat. I think, Lucas, you're impressed with her ability to organize her kitchen and how organized it is. You wish you could keep your kitchen as pristine as hers is. Just looking through that window. Nobody's home, guys. Though you do see a small green light coming from the back room.
Is it the same color green that Jean's teleportation was?
Yeah.
Lucas, do you see that?
I heard that's John. Is that... Go ahead.
I was gonna say, check the door. Is it locked?
No,
check the door.
It's unlocked.
I'll unlock it and push the door open and call out, Saint Marie, are you here?
Hear a flapping sound. Suddenly, a flying monkey with a red vest and a red solo cup looking hat with a little yellow tail coming off that hat springs up to the back of a recliner looking chair and kind of screeches a little bit at you.
Does it look like friendly or does it look malicious?
It looks kind of in between, like a dog that's like, I'm not quite sure if you're supposed to be there or not. Kind of keeping its guard, but not moving towards you, but not backing away either if you were to start grabbing something.
Should Should we go in?
I kind of step one foot into the doorway. We're looking for Saint Marie. Nice monkey.
Kind of bares his teeth a little bit.
Crew is going to reach down and grab the hilt of his axe, which it's kind of hard to see unless you're really paying attention, but there's actually a copper coil kind of wrapped around the hilt of it. And he's going to cast message and see if he can see if Jean is in the building. Basically cast it into the building and say, Jean, are you in here?
No response.
Lucas, I don't know. I don't think he's here. He's not responding to me, at least.
I call that one more time. Saint Marie?
Monkey tilts his head and uses his tail to open up the back door. The door to the back room.
Can we go through?
You can certainly try.
No, I was asking the monkey.
Oh. Monkey kind of tilts his head, and as the door swings open, you see another chalk line on the ground there. And the chalk design looks very similar to the one that John made on the boat.
But no Saint Marie standing in it or anything like that.
No Saint Marie standing in it or anything like that. It kind of looks like he's kind of points to it and kind of makes a motion like he's kind of waiting for her to come back from whatever she's doing. Chalk line.
Well, it looks like she maybe the same place that Jean is.
I hope so. Monkey, can we stay here and wait for her Saint Marie to come back?
The monkey kind of looks up a little bit at the roof for a minute, like he's thinking. Then he sticks his hand out.
I give him my bag of spiced maize.
He pulls it close, he sniffs it, he kind of makes a face and throws it on the ground and puts his hand out.
Crew is going to go outside and look around. Are there any banana trees nearby?
Oh yeah, there's banana trees everywhere.
He's gonna walk up to one and grab a couple of bananas off of one and bring those back in.
Have you ever seen a banana tree in real life?
They're high, yeah.
Yeah. How's Crew getting up there?
The Crew is shooting an Eldritch Blast. That's where it's hanging from.
Alright. Cool. Yeah, you're able to. I think that's logical. You're able to do that and maybe awkwardly catch it, but get it. And you hand him one banana or the whole flock of bananas?
I will start with one banana.
A hand of bananas.
Hand of bananas. He looks at the banana, makes like a "Are you for real?" look, and drops it on the ground. No.
Then I hand him the whole hand.
He makes a perturbed look and starts throwing one banana at you at a time. Just trying to pelt you with the bananas, and then puts his hand back out.
What do you want? What do you want?
He pulls out a handful of coins from his pocket, his little vest pocket.
I reach out to try and take it.
No, he holds it close to his body and puts it back in the vest and kind of screams and monkey a little bit, and then puts his hand out and kind of puts his other hand, like, you know, aggressively pointing at his hand, and then putting his hand out.
Maybe we just wait outside.
Yeah.
The monkey pouts, sitting on the back of the chair there.
You I kind of want to do something. I give him a gold piece.
He jumps up and down. He puts that in his pocket, and then he pulls the blanket back from the chair, and he motions for you to sit.
If it's okay with you, I want to go see the kitchen. It seemed very nice in there.
He claps his hands, and he grabs you with his hand, and he kind of waddles you into the kitchen.
Crew is just gonna stand awkwardly in the middle of the living room. He doesn't necessarily want to touch anything because he saw Saint Marie basically keep the pirates in line. It knows that if he messes anything up, he could be the next one in line for that. So he's gonna do his best to just stay still and not touch a thing.
Sounds good. Yeah, she's got a nice grandmother-like house. There's the soft little sofa you can sit on. There's a coffee table next to it. There's a china cabinet full of like figurines. There's just, strange little figurines from different places. It looks like they're kind of made of glass. There's, like I said, the kind of the recliner-looking chair that the monkey was sitting on the back of. There's obviously a flying monkey-sized chair next to it that he could be sitting in, but he, like most animals do, don't sit in their own bed. So it looks like it's not as well used as it should be. There's, different toys and things. You can kind of see that the monkey was kind of playing with a couple of things around the room. It's kind of wood floor. The kitchen itself is kind of a purple tile, very pristine. The countertops are kind of a white granite. The wood is purple, which is odd, but feels right as you're walking into the room. Like your grandmother's kind of got those weird old nasty looking curtains that you're kind of going, you should have replaced those 30 years ago, Grandma, but you still use them. And they're almost like see-through, so it's like, are these really doing any good? Why do we have these curtains on your windows at all? There's a strange propeller looking thing at the top of the roof in the kitchen. Kind of spins slowly. And of course there's the back bedroom. So.
But the real question is there that faint smell of mothball that's
yes.
in every grandmother's house?
100%. 100%.
I go to the monkey. If you ask nicely, I'm sure Bowl here. He's in another room, right? We're in different rooms.
Yeah, you're in the kitchen and Bowl's in the
okay.
room.
If you go up and ask nicely, I'm sure Bowl could give you a gold coin as well.
He claps his hand excitedly and screams and flies into the other room and perches on the coffee table and holds his hand out in front of Brew.
As he leaves, I am going to quickly case the entire kitchen and try and look for the secret rum cake recipe.
Did I hear you say that loud enough for the monkey, or did you more whisper it to it?
I don't think you would have said
whispered
that
it. I whispered to the monkey about the gold, just not about finding the recipe.
Yeah.
Roll me an investigation check. John.
Come.
Me?
No. Lucas is definitely rolling the investigation check. We'll find out next time what that number is. But John, you sit for a moment. She kind of forces you to sit cross-legged a little bit. In style, she kind of uses her cane to kind of bat you to sit in the right position. You feel the breeze kind of blowing and it's back in a moment or two as you're kind of sitting there. And it's kind of weird and awkward at first. But she brings a flower crown. She's made. She puts it on your head. she begins to talk in different language that you don't quite understand. But it doesn't sound so much like a language that you imagine. You haven't spent many times with druids. Much time with druids.
Nah.
Eventually looks at you, and that same dust she kind of just sprinkled on your sword earlier, she kind of blows in your face. Everything goes white for you. And you stand in this empty space. Look around. There's nothing there. It's white everywhere. And then your father shows up. Without saying anything, he comes forward and gives you. I think that's where we're going to stop for this evening.
What?
Okay.
Tune in next time. Your John be deadly serious.
We'll see.